From WKGC's Studio A on the campus of Gulf Coast State College, the Military Hour with your host, Carrie Dieter, on AM 1480, Southport, Panama City, Florida.
Thank you for tuning in to Military Hour. I'm Carrie Dieter, your host, and we have a special guest with us today, Sergeant Retired United States Marine Corps, Shawn Billiot. Shawn, welcome. Glad you're here. You're going to tell us about a special program that's coming up called Project 22. Start us off with that information, because I was very interested and intrigued and glad you got a hold of me.
Well, thank you, Carrie. So it all started when I was at the hospital, at the Naval Hospital in Bethesda. And someone I served with had mentioned and had brought up a couple guys that had started this awareness. They started riding their motorcycles around the country, trying to raise awareness for the astronomical statistic of 22 veterans committing suicide a day. Yeah, which is
tragic.
Yeah. So, they started this documentary going from San Francisco to New York, and he brought it up to me and started telling me about we can make screenings about this documentary, and this was near and dear to my heart. And me and my wife, Annie, started looking into how we get these screenings in our area. And finally, we got approved to do the screening on March 22nd. And it's at the Carmike Theater. And, and 22 veterans a day to me is not a number that sits with me very well.
Well, one is too many, but the whole thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to bring awareness to localities all across the country about this terrible problem.
Yes, because not a lot of people know that.
Right.
Not a lot of people know that, and that's with Daniel Egbert. He's a Marine. And Doc King, he's a Army medic.
As soon as you said Doc, I'm like, well, it's got to be a medic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they went around and they felt they had to make sure everybody knew and everybody didn't forget. Our brothers didn't. The problems they were having with PTSD, TBIs. They weren't alone, because that's another big problem. Is we think we're alone,
right?
And coming from your generation of Vietnam vets, we in our generation too. We even myself, when I came back, I just thought we were all alone, and nobody had the problems that I had, and
yeah, I understand.
So, and we, when they rode around, they wanted to make sure everybody knew that that this was going on, and that encourage people to reach out to the veterans, and if they knew somebody. If they knew somebody who knew somebody that was a veteran, who had a family member that was a veteran, to reach out to them and let them know that they weren't alone.
Right. It's like veterans helping veterans.
Yeah.
It's what we do.
Yeah.
And that's not a cliche. It's real.
It's real.
It's something that we do.
Yes.
Whether we know you or don't know you, if you have that need, it's like what we call a now need, emergent need. It's you got to help them now.
Yes.
You don't let it wait, and more so, especially on this. So these two veterans, started this project to help get the word out, because it's one of those topics that is kind of hushed.
Yeah.
Unless you're involved with a brother or sister that has completed suicide, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Or
yes.
if you're involved in attending those type funerals,
yes.
You pretty much wouldn't know.
Yes, and it's it's sad, and it's kind of the mentality of, we have to, I don't want to say it's we have to look out for we do have to look out for each other, and I'm not saying it's we're the only ones we have for each other, because there is groups out there that do look out for us, and our families do, but we really do have to look out for each other, just like we do on the battlefield.
Of course.
Especially the way I look at it is, my mentality is, you got your six, I got your six, basically. And I like to reach out to, I have a really good friend, and I want to make sure I reached out to him, and it's really hard for him to accept, and I don't regret it, and because I was in the same position, but whenever he's ready, he'll come back, And
that was a key word. When he's ready, he'll come back.
Yes.
You have to stand in the gap, or I should say, all of us need to stand in the gap and be alert enough to pick up on something. If it not that we're going to always be successful,
yes,
but you want to be alert to what may be going on, and then you can possibly intervene or hey, bud, you know what, we need to talk.
We need to talk. Yes.
So, and it can be that simple, and then you can point a brother or a sister in the right direction.
Yes.
Where to go. A good example is what we talked about earlier, about a unit here in town that Tim Bedford,
yes,
Emerald Coast Behavioral Hospital, does a tremendous good work for veterans. And 30-bed, resiliency unit, inpatient, plus they've got outpatient. So the help is there. And a lot of us, I should say, don't like to ask for help because we think we don't need it, even when some around us can see it.
Yep.
And they start going, hey, you know what? You might need to go get yourself checked out.
Yeah.
So, and a brother and a sister are more apt to listen to one another about those issues. Those are my thoughts, but how do you see that?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, and that's what this Project 22 documentary is about, and they really hit it. They really focus people every time they stop and they interview veterans and they interview the families of the veterans. That's what they focus on, and I'm not, obviously I don't want to give away too much of the movie,
right?
But that's what they focus on, to make sure that my wife Annie, she's a therapist at Emerald Coast, but she brought up a good point with me to not. I use the word confront. She said, "Don't confront your brother veteran. Encourage." And it really hit me, because sometimes I do end up confronting, and it doesn't, work.
So we have a tendency to get in each other's face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that.
Which, military, you get, obviously you're used to getting somebody's face.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to this, you really have to kind of tone it back, because you have to put yourself, and you don't want to get confronted, because when you get confronted,
right, yeah, there
you
go.
You don't really take it very well.
Yeah, you don't want that anger to come out. Yeah.
And when she brought it up, I'm like, good point, and it's really, really important, and that's what they really hit on, and they really have to. And really, after you're going to see the movie, it's just powerful that the reception of everybody, from the audience and of the community that doesn't know veterans, the civilians that have no connection to veterans or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They just have such a very good a take back from it and an understanding after this.
Yeah, well, that would be the key. I would think that they come away with more of an understanding of what veterans are going through from their experiences, and obviously you've had some horrific experiences yourself.
Yep.
In your military career, and of course, that if you want to go there with any of that, where you were, where you're deployed, or any of that, that's entirely up to you. And I fully understand if you do, fully understand if you don't. That's not a problem. The biggest thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is due to be shown at 6:30, pardon me, on May the 5th.
Yes,
at Carmike Theater,
Panama
on
City,
23rd Street.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Panama
Well, it's
City.
actually right around the corner here from the college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So real
correct.
close by.
Correct.
So, and this is a private showing, and you had to have X number of tickets. I forgot the number.
It was 67 tickets to be approved to actually get it shown, and there was 87 tickets to be completely sold out. Now, Panama City has been tremendous support.
Well, it's a great area for veteran support.
Great area. And we've been promoting this for 10 days, and we're 2 tickets away as of this morning for selling out.
2 tickets. You hear that, folks? Now,
tickets.
Where can they go get these tickets? That's what we need to find out, Shawn.
Okay. The website for those 2 tickets are going to be https://www.tugg.com/events/94625. That's the direct website.
Let's do that one more time, because some people can't write fast like me. So
https://www.tugg.com/events/94625. And at that website, you can obviously buy those last 2 tickets. And there's a trailer to the Project 22 documentary. So the trailer obviously is going to be very powerful, and it's going to be a little taste of what the movie's going to be. And it's just such a powerful movie of what they did, and they're still continue raising awareness.
do you know the movie length is hour and a half or something? Or?
It's about an hour. From my recollection, it's about an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Not to put you on the spot, I was just wondering.
Yeah, it's about an hour and 40 minutes from my record.
Yeah, well, good deal.
From my bad memory. No, and it's from when I deployed, and I came back. I transferred after my deployment to Fallujah in 2005. And, the hardest part was when my unit deployed right after I transferred, and 3 buddies of mine didn't come back. That was the hardest part.
I hear you.
Yep. And that's when it really hit home. And that's when I almost became a 22, one of the 22. and that's why this project 22 is really the screening.
Well, I know I just met you, but I'm thankful that you didn't complete that 22
and you know
go
it's
that direction.
It's really it's near and dear to my heart, and I really thank Daniel and Doc King for doing this and just bringing out to the nation, and just letting everybody know, because it seems like, you know, a lot of people are forgetting, you know, and it's just, I'm very, very happy that it has become, you know, more aware, even though it's really kind of, it's not morbid, but it's very touchy and down subject, but it's
a tough subject. But I wouldn't classify it as morbid. It's morbid, more informational so you can help and get involved. Because simply put, we need our military, men and women. It's just a necessity. And I don't know that I mentioned to you, I've got a grandson he's a combat medic, but that was the way he wanted to be a doctor since he's a little kid. But anyway, it's necessary, and since it's necessary, we owe it to our troops to help them. And some people may think that vets are looking just for a handout. No. You help them, and guess what? They help back. They give back to their communities, to their families. Yep. And for us, it was like this. Once you ETS'd, you still hit that ground running 90 miles an hour, and guess what? All of a sudden, what am I going to do now? You know, what's the next mission? What you know? And then a lot of us started doing other things, and I spent 20 years like that.
Yep.
Not good.
And that's what a lot of you know, a lot of people think suicide is, you know, putting a gun to your head, you know, taking too many pills, you know, the classic suicides. But a lot of suicide, you know, since OIF and OEF started, or those type of adrenaline rushes. Mm-hmm. You know, you hit the ground on missions, you come back, you're looking for the adrenaline rush, because there's nothing like that, you know, adrenaline rush over there. But you're trying to find it. So you get on the crotch rocket, and you want to go 120, 130 miles an hour.
I'm still on my Harley dancing at 80, 85.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
And you end up, you know, crashing your bike and not surviving. But because you're trying to get that adrenaline rush. So in a way, you know, you can look at that as suicide, but it's just you're trying to get that adrenaline rush. So a lot of the suicides are not the classic, as everybody would think as suicide is. So it's just we gotta, and that's what Daniel and Doc King did, is just is bringing people together to let them know what's going on.
More awareness about some of the underlying elements that are involved, like you're saying, like that adrenaline rush thing. Yeah.
And you know TBI
and that one.
And TBI and PTSD run together, and you know it's just the symptoms. Yeah. Everybody got to be aware of. You know,
well, you shared with me an interesting story about some of your medical procedures. That if you want to share some of those, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But I think it's commendable, the progress that you have made, even though I've just met you. But from what you've told me, it's like the medical advances are really something to be not only celebrated, but
yes.
And especially for your generation, the younger generations, you're surviving much more than guys and gals my generation would have.
Mm-hmm.
You're having much more heinous injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Not to compare injury to injury, but the survival rate is so much better now that you have to live with this and these injuries.
Yep. And you know, that's another thing I want to bring up too is, you know, a lot of our brothers and you know, us, we go over there, we survive, come back, and we can't even make it through, you know, here.
I know where you're going.
So we, you know, when I came back, I was about to re-enlist, and I was in D.C. You know, I made it through Fallujah, and I couldn't even make it through our nation's capital. And
yeah, when I saw that, when you first shared a little bit with me, I mean, I was lit up. I was really, really mad.
yeah, and
I don't know any of the particulars other than
right.
that
So
you said you were assaulted in D.C.
Yeah, I was assaulted in D.C. And it was, you know how thick a Jack Daniels bottle is?
Sure do.
Yeah.
I've emptied a few.
Yeah, me too. Well, it was in about 1 million pieces after it hit my head. So, basically, it left me in a coma for a month. So, you know, and it's, you know, I reflect back on it, and, you know, my buddies, you know, I was just on a path of destruction. And all the times I wanted to end it because, you know, they didn't come back and everything.
Yep. Survivor's guilt.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yep.
Survivor's guilt, you know, and I look at it almost as a blessing that happened. Because if that wouldn't have happened, where would I be?
You probably would have stayed on that path.
Stayed on that path. I wouldn't have met Annie. I wouldn't have a beautiful, awesome son that's 5 years old. I wouldn't be here.
Where's that?
You know? So, yeah, I was in a coma for a month. I have, you know, underlying issues, but I'm taking care of them. I have, you know, a TBI. You know, now I have chronic migraines, which I have an implant for, which I can sit here and talk about, you know, for 3 hours.
That's like Star Trek to me, the way the technology is.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, it's just, and that's what a lot of veterans have going on. It's we make it out of Iraq and Afghanistan, all that, like, insane, crazy situations we make it out of, but we can't make it back home. And easy situations we can't make it out of, you know. So
it changes you.
It completely changes you, and you know, it's very. I'm very lucky, and I try not to take anything for granted anymore. You know, and
changes your outlook on life completely.
Completely
different.
Yes.
Yeah.
And myself, I mean, obviously I don't, you know, I try to help as much as I can. And I'm very lucky for Annie. You know, I said it earlier, she works at Emerald Coast. You know, she does her part.
Hope I get a chance to meet your wife.
Yes,
she just sounds like a stellar individual.
Yes, she is just great, and you know, it's you know, without her, I really wouldn't be who I am today.
You said something earlier that I picked up on, and I just thought was probably one of the best things any man could say to his wife. I've got a great one too. But your words to me, and I'm going to quote it, was that Annie saved me.
Yeah.
Short, to the point. That's pretty much says it all. She gets you. She understands.
Yep.
A lot of vets, male and female, don't get that from their spouses. Now, a lot do. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. But that's where they need to work together.
Yep.
So, you know, it's a team effort.
Very much a team effort. Very much.
Yep.
You know, and you know, with ending, I guess, you know, right now, I would like just to, I definitely would like to thank, if that's okay right now.
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank the print shop, James Buell. He donated 250, 250 copies, flyers, for this Project 22, and that helped tremendously.
And businesses in the Panama City area, they don't mind stepping up to the plate and helping out for veterans causes, and they give with open and willing heart. So great area to be in here in the Panhandle.
I was overwhelmed with all the help that I received from for this screen. Like I said, 10 days we almost sold this out, and I was so overwhelmed.
Good job.
so overwhelmed, and just meeting you too.
Outstanding. Yeah. We kind of clicked though. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I know.
Could be a brother thing.
Could be. Yeah. Just in quick, like Harley, Indian, VFW post 10-555.
Yeah, triple nickel. Yeah.
Yeah, triple nickel.
Great post.
DAV, American Legion. I think you had said the
post 392 and
the biker club. What you had?
Oh, the CVMA.
CVMA. Yeah. Team Red, White, and Blue is a great. Especially Kelly Elrod.
Yep, Kelly Elrod.
She's
doing a great job.
Great job, man. I haven't met her yet.
You haven't met Kelly?
I haven't met Kelly, but she is
very pleasant.
I can tell you right
very
now.
Pleasant young lady and a go-getter.
Go-getter, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Already, she's
on task.
Yeah, they've bought over 20 tickets.
Oh, cool.
For Team Red, White, and Blue.
Good deal.
And like I said, I haven't even met her yet.
I got my two.
Yeah.
My wife and I. So.
And Linda Cope and Jonathan Cope. They are actually featured in the movie. In the
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Now that I didn't know.
Daniel and Doc King stopped
that.
here. Huh. They are actually featured in the documentary. I don't know. She probably didn't want to be, highlighted, but I will highlight her. She definitely helped me a lot with this.
Well, she's another tireless veteran supporter.
Yes.
So,
I reached out to her, and she's definitely helped me. She made me contact with you.
Yeah.
And she has a barbecue tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
She has a barbecue at Emerald Coast, 10:30.
Yep.
To support the Wounded Warrior Beach Retreat.
I'm not sure if this is the third year or the fourth year that Tim Bedford has done that there at Emerald Coast. On Harrison Avenue, the food's great.
Yes.
I never remember the name. The guys won all kinds of awards. They won the Grills Gone Wild Awards. Mm-hmm. Deep Smoke, that's it.
Deep Smoke.
Yep, Deep Smoke's cooking again. They do a great job. So
yes.
$8 a plate if I remember right.
Yes.
If not, give them 10.
Yes. Oh, and Team Red, White, and Blue has the 5K on Saturday.
Yep, this Saturday that's coming up.
And
I think that's leaving out of Harley, yeah.
Harley Davidson,
yeah.
Yep.
Another big supporter.
Yeah, big supporter. Sign up for that, definitely. Yeah, and actually, Mission Continues. I want to bring that up, too. Mission Continues.
I haven't heard of Mission Continues.
Yeah, I'm a fellow for Mission Continues. They, that's another big, we were talking about vets helping out.
Yeah.
Bringing, when they come back, we always try to give back to the community.
Yeah.
They're an organization to reach out to, because they redeploy us to adjust back to life in the communities.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up too.
Yeah, look up, and you can find out more from Kelly about that too. But I'm a fellow in that. Just Google Mission Continues. It's a great organization. I got with them when I was at the Naval Hospital, but
up in Bethesda.
Bethesda, yeah. Well, now it's Walter Reed, but yeah, it's the Naval Hospital. But yeah, Mission Continues is a great organization. Great organization. Yeah, they help out getting us back into life. They back in the community. So great organization.
Well, let's give the viewers and listeners the skinny on Project 22 again, the showing, the date, and all that.
Yes.
And if they have any questions, if there's any way they can contact you or anybody else that.
Yes, Project 22 screening will be on May 5th at the Carmike on 23rd. The tickets will be at that website I just called out. We have 2 tickets left.
Go get
before
them.
we sold out. Yeah, go get them.
Go get them.
I haven't checked it. I checked it this morning. I don't know if they're going to still be there right now, but go check them out. I think, yeah, it'll be May 5th at 6:30.
Yep, 6:30.
18:30, 6:30. Yeah. So yeah, come check it out. It's May 5th, if you can, and we will try. If it's a big sellout, we may try to do another screening. I don't know. I haven't talked to Annie about that, but
Sounds good.
We may try to do, if it's a big hit, we may try to do another one.
Sounds good. And I want to thank Gulf Coast State College again.
Yes.
They're very military friendly, and they allow us to do this here just to help get the word out to the community about what's going on.
Yes.
And I appreciate it, and I know all the brothers and sisters appreciate it.
Yes.
So
thanks.
You too. Thank you. I'm glad I got to meet you, brother.
Glad I got to meet you too, and thank you for having me.
Tune in next week. If I'm breathing, I'm here. So, and we'll have somebody else.